Hi everyone, it's a really warm October, which is really weird. Right, I'm going to get the car washed. This is a rather somber video again. What can I say? Can you see me okay? I hope so. So I'm moving house and it's happened very suddenly. The buyers have just done a complete 180 and want to move in at the end of November. I thought it was going to happen after Christmas due to various reasons. So now I'm rushing and I don't have time to buy another place, which is really freaking irritating. But anyway, so I got to rent something, which you think would be easy. However, it's much harder than you think because of my circumstances, and that I quit work about a year and a bit ago to take care of my mother. I'm unemployed, even though obviously I can afford to buy a house, cash, etc. I'm not bragging, I'm just stating facts. I can't, the time doesn't allow for it. I've got to be out of the house by the end of November because it's vacant possession. Don't ask why, my mum screwed up the will. And I found a few places, and I'm going to move to Suffolk because I like it there and it's fairly quiet like it is here, unless I'm driving this. But I'm having serious trouble with two things. One thing, this. I need a garage to put it in. Finding a garage big enough, because most of the English garages are tiny, in a rental property is impossible. Absolutely impossible where I'm looking. So it's going to have to be outside, which doesn't sit well with me. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, I'm moving house and it's happened very suddenly and it's due to the whole probate, mother's passing, bad solicitors, bad conveyancers, as usual. I used to be a estate agent, so I know the game, and I'm very frustrated because I've been chasing all the time and they're saying, oh, there's no news, no news, no news, and then suddenly it's, oh, you've got to move out right before the end of November. Oh, and even though it's your home and your mother wanted to leave it to you, the will stated otherwise because it was made 25 years ago before the house existed. You've got to be out. So it's like panic. You know, I've got to rush to find somewhere. I'm driving up and down the country because I don't want to be down here because I'm literally in the middle of nowhere near Rye, and I'm moving to Suffolk, which it's actually easy to get to London from. Not that I want to go to London, I've had enough of London, to be honest with you. It's not a nice place. Too many problems. Anyway, so I'm very, very stressed. And the problem is, I found this amazing place. It was a garage conversion, and the whole top of the garage was a huge flat, like 1,000 square feet. And it had all these spaces underneath. And it said it came with 2 allocated spaces, so I can fit the 35D, this, and a Ducati easily. It's a very safe area in the countryside, you know, it's not likely to get nicked. Plus, you know, I'm right above it. You know, it's about as safe as it gets, really. And then I found out that it's part of like this development, like a old building conversion, like a huge development. And the 2 allocated spaces for that garage, which you would assume would be one of the, I think there's like 8 spaces underneath there, okay? But the one directly under the flat aren't yours. In fact, no one even parks there, but you're not allowed to park there. Oh my God, and it's free. That's my old car. It's somewhere else. And I met the tenant and he said, oh, it's a really bad space because it's like you have to parallel park and his car's been smashed multiple times. It's just not what I need. And so I said, look, if no one's using the spaces underneath this garage, okay, I want them. You know, I'll pay the asking price. Hell, I'll pay you 6 months up front as long as I can have those spaces. But it's a no. It's so frustrating, you know. Even the agent didn't know. I mean, it just makes no sense. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that happened. And I'm looking at other places, there were garages, but the garages, I don't know, most of my viewers are English, right? You English? Okay, so a traditional English garage is very small, and the M3 is quite wide, and there is no hope in hell of a modern car, including this M3 with its wide arches, being able to, fit. Can't fit in there. I could put a Ducati in there, but I can't put the car in there. So that won't do. And then, of course, I'm travelling up and down. It's 120 miles each way, and I'm just exhausted. I've looked everywhere. Saffron Wilden, but that's Essex. Not going to go there. It's stressful. It really is. And then there's the whole logistics of being able to move the 2 cars and the bike. Oh my god, this car is so good. Alright, what's this video about? The video is about potentially having to sell the car. Yeah, it's 99% finished. When I say 99%, I've just got minor little things like a tiny oil leak from the CPV valve. The diff is leaking a little bit of oil, and Dara is on it. As soon as I've got time after I move, he's going to fix or replace the diff. Everything else is sorted. I mean, I've got a sub. If the bloody thing would play music, I would be able, you wouldn't be able to hear it anyway, but that sub kicks. I've got a seat delete in the back. I'm going to show you everything that's been done, okay? Oh, is it working? Am I going to get copyright? I have to edit this, but...
Bear with me.
Pause on that. I want to overtake this guy, but my engine's warmed up, by the way, so it's not like I'm, thrashing it. Anyway, yeah. I know, I can't believe this is happening. I just can't believe it's happening. It's just, I've had so much bad luck this year. And the idea originally was to keep it forever, because I was going to buy another house that was able to cope with having 2 cars. Because the next car, you know what, most people know what the next car is, and I'm just going to let it out. I bought an M2 competition. Yeah, and the number plate for that is the brother to this. So if this is L10 UDU loud, I've got L11 UDU. and that was it. I was going to have those 2 cars and keep this. It wants for nothing. It's very reliable. Everything it needs doing's been done. There's S&G pump, the Vanos, the rod bearings. I've had the plates installed and welded in the back. I've had an extra welding done just in case. I've done a lot of work to preventative maintenance. I've done a lot of servicing. I've had many oil changes. The car is just perfect. It's perfect. I've got the bolsters to go, and I'll show you that later. I'll talk about it later. But I mean, the car is 99% there, and when I got time, it will be 100%. It will want for nothing. The only potential negative I can see is that it's got high mileage. 136,000, but it's not a negative. It's not. I mean, the compression, and you're welcome. If there's going to be a buyer, they are welcome to have it checked. The compression across all 6 cylinders, perfect. It's perfect. It's just everything is sorted. The only little issues are there's a couple of bubbles from the paint job on the rear arch. Might be rust, but I think it's just bad prep. A tiny bit of orange peel on the left-hand side. It's barely noticeable. Funnily enough, when I was parked at Goodwood, I was right at the front for the festival speed, at the supercar parking, and there's more people coming up to this than there were the actual CSLs that were parked there. And you know, a lot of people are asking questions, and if you're watching this, hi, thanks for watching. All very friendly, and they're all very curious about what I've done to the car. And boy, what have I done to the car? I mean, all I've done is upgraded everything. This is how deep I've gone. I've even done the light sensor. The bracket was broken, so I bought a brand new, a Bilstein or Febby part, OEM, installed that, had the lights corrected, and it just flew for its MOT. Flew. And the MOT guy was very impressed. Oh, here we go, I'm restricted. Everything, the brakes, the diff. Oh, it's just incredible. I just love this car. Oh, and you've fallen down from all the action. I just love this car. It's amazing. I can't explain it. I can't put it into words. And I've test drive, and I don't record it, but I test drive cars as a prospective buyer. And the only thing that has come close in feel and, well, just everything really, is the M2, but it just didn't pack enough power. And it had a little bit too much roll. It's not stiff, but that's easily sorted. Where should I park? Yeah, it likes to do that. Hey there. Are you not paying attention to me, camera? It's an amazing camera, this. By the way, guys, I record in 4K and I upload in 4K. Any reason I do that is because I've got a 4K monitor and TV, and I get 1080p looks a bit rubbish, really. But, you know, it still looks good in 1080p. If you've got a 1080p screen, I know, because I've tried it myself on another television. But I do record in 4K. I'm very fussy on quality, so that's why I use this rather expensive setup. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't been vlogging and I haven't been doing episodes, mostly due to, well, just not being able to do it. I mean, I've been having a very hard time, and also the move is I just don't have time to make a video. I've got time today to take this out and give you an update. So let's go outside and have a look at the car, shall we? Let's show you what's been done. So this is the inside of the car. This is the cockpit, and there's nothing like it really. So, you know, it says Harman Kardon, but behind there are some rather expensive Pioneer tweeters, and behind there's some rather expensive Pioneer. Well, they're components anyway. They're very, very good, very potent. Got this beautiful custom-made Alcantara trim with the stitching. And I think I've showed this before, but you know, it's pretty much damn perfect, and it goes all the way across. It goes all the way across to here. And then, of course, you've got the steering wheel. Oops, I closed the lens. And that's got the same colour stitching. And it's the Alcantara matches, by the way. Okay, the Alcantara matches. And then down here, we also have Alcantara. Now, I was going to have stitching done to kind of match what was going on here, but I thought maybe that was overkill, so I left it. And I always plan to make this also Alcantara, and then with the stitching. And if I don't sell the car, maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. But let's get to the more intro. Oh yeah, this is the stereo. This is pretty awesome. I don't know what I can show you, so I'm not going to talk to you about bloody iPhones, because everyone's got their own opinion. But this works with Android as well. There we go. There we go. So we are now in Apple CarPlay. And you're about to find out where I am. if it can find me. Hello, Google. There's not much reception out here, as you can see, because I'm in the middle of nowhere. There we go, there I am. You guys can kind of see. I'm going to get copyrighted, aren't I? Shush, 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 shush. I love a bit of Fleetwood Mac. Right, okay. I hope the copyright holder's not screaming. Okay, here we go. So, you can do this, I think. No, okay, I want to go minus. See? Google Maps. That's me. It's pretty awesome. And basically your phone runs it. It's the screen is basically a slave to the phone. It's pretty damn cool actually, and it even has WhatsApp and stuff. It's and then you can voice record your response, which actually works quite well. It will display it, and then you just you hit a button, and I don't think you need to hit a button, do you? I think you can hit something on the steering wheel. Anyway, so yeah, it's very good. Anyway, I'm going to unplug it now. So I think you can get ones that are wireless, in newer cars, but still, it's good enough, right? Let's get to the cool stuff. Okay, so this cockpit, these seats are incredible. I've had to drive 180 miles to get the roll cage put in with Sean Gosling. Hey Sean, your video is coming soon, by the way, okay? I haven't forgotten about you. It's just I don't have time. In fact, I barely have time to do this. These seats are just incredible. They are so comfortable. And I had someone sitting in it the other day, and they're not used to cars, right? And they were like, oh God, these look a bit tight. And they got in them, and they were like, oh my God, this is the most comfortable seat I've ever been in my life. And I'm quoting them there. That's exactly what they said. And I did a 180 mile drive in this straight, okay? And it was really comfortable. Ironically, in the 35D, which is supposed to be the more comfortable car, I get lower backache after about 100 miles on that. This, all day, and I have no backache. I know, there's no logic to that, is there? So there's this wonderful roll cage. There's not much light in here. I've got an Alpine Type G 8-inch. Now, obviously, I'm not a sound, freak. So, and I prefer 8-inch because they're better for kind of soft rock, which is what I kind of listen to. But they can still play, modern stuff, hip hop, still pumps. And Sean did a wonderful job here. These things here just lift out. This has been soundproofed and it has acoustic carpet. And when I do the video, you'll see how he did that. He did an amazing job. He's very skilled, Sean, very skilled. I can only say very good things about him, as I do with Matt as well. But the bolster's supposed to go in here, and I've got them at home. I just haven't got around to it. And they actually go over that and cover it. I don't know if you can see down here, but yeah, it's super clean. Rock bloody solid as well, and the car feels solid. Now, it's basically what I wanted. Very clean install. There's one fault with this car, and it's the bloody boot release. It's decided to go on the fritz. So at the moment, I'll try it again. Nope. So I have to manually do it. Yes, I know, old school. A little bit messy in here. There's a right. That's my survival kit. I've got a air pump to inflate the tyres. I've got Castrol special oil. I only use the best. I've got the Burkhart fluid there just in case, and obviously that. I've got a brand new battery under there now as well. And this here is a very special brace made by Sean. And there's a few out there. There are a few out there, but I do believe that Sean's is probably one of the better ones. I really do. because it drills straight through where the diff bush is, and it just pulls up the frame. And I've got plates as well, and I've got plates on top, and had extra welding done as well around the plates because there was a bit too much rust, and then that was protected as well. And I've got this too. So there is no hope in hell of there ever being a subframe issue with this car, which is great. You have to check. I'm going to check these bolts because he said to do that. There's the sub. It's bodged wiring at the moment. I need to sort it out, but I will. It needs to be clean and that. So I'm going to order some cable and then have that go flush underneath through the carpet, and you won't see it. It will be absolutely perfect. But there you go. That's Sean Gosling's work right there. It looks amazing. Okay, now let's look at the car. Okay, so it's kind of hard to make a video because people keep coming with dogs and shit. But anyway, so here we are. Project M3 in all its glory. Marrakesh brown, as you know. We have the black grills. Shahir have brand new headlight lenses, covers, so it's nice and shiny and clean. This is temporary. I again damaged the splitter, so that's getting repaired. I think it's getting repaired 1st of November. And I'm going to have to put a new carbon splitter again. I don't know what it is with me and this left bloody splitter. Ugh. It's not exactly like the car's too low. It's a reasonable height, but every time I come up to a bloody speed bump or something, I have to go really slow. And yeah, this one actually happened during that storm that we had recently. I was going down the M11, and it was a little bit loose for some reason, because I guess I hit a speed bump again a little bit too quick, 3 miles an hour. And the shear force, these produce a ton of downforce, by the way. The boot and the front bumper work together. This is what I was told by the guy, who was it? No, I read it on like a editorial on what they did with the CSL. And these two, the boot and the front splitters work together in harmony to produce a crap ton of downforce compared to the original M3. And you can feel it. You can actually feel it. When you're on the motorway, it sucks and glues down more than the standard M3. I'm not making it up. You can actually feel that. Anyway, so the wind was incredibly strong on this day. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. It's October. It was really weird, bizarre. It was on the warmest day in October, actually. And you could feel the wind just battering. I mean, it was even shaking the mirrors. And I wasn't speeding. I was doing like 70, which is the speed limit. And it just ripped it off. And I had to limp home with it. And so destroyed it, really. So yeah, that's very strong tape. Yeah, anyway. So we got this lovely UV, this is a genuine BMW UV windshield. I forget what they call it. It's an expensive option. And the car actually came with it as standard, but when I got it, it had just a generic, auto glass windshield. So when it got a crack, I managed to get the original spec sheet and go through my insurers and got the original BMW OEM UV glass, and it makes a huge difference. Yeah, the battery ran out. Anyway, this makes a huge bit of difference. It reduces the temperature inside the car on a hot sunny day. You don't burn your hands on here. Helps that it's Alcantara, which is nice. With the leather, you get burnt. Let me just put this battery somewhere. Yeah, let's put it in my pocket. I've got too much stuff in my pocket. So yeah, I think I've got to sell it. I really do. I think I've got to sell the car. Why is it doing that? I don't know. I'm going to focus on that. There we go. Is that better? You're focusing on the car now? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to sell it. I don't want to, but due to the horrid circumstances I've been put into by this probate nonsense, I don't have enough time to buy a property, so I've got to rent, and I just can't find anywhere decent enough at a reasonable price to rent that can take this, the 35D, or its replacement, the M2 Competition, and my Ducati. Actually, Ducati's a bit easy one, I can put that away, but I can't have two cars. I can only have one. First world problems, right? People are asking me how much have I spent on this car. I lost count at about 25 grand. I know, insane. Because everything has been sorted. Everything. Let me just show you. Everything has been sorted. Not sure if this will show up. If not, I'll put it on a close up on the camera. Pretty gorgeous in here. So a little bit dirty at the moment, but let's just show you, okay? There you go. So it's just the little details. I mean, that's carbon fibre. That's a genuine M badge. Burkhart, Thomas at Burkhart, very kind. He gave that to me. It's OEM part. And for some reason I'm missing this, but it must be somewhere. But I use these little gold bolts, which I like because, you know, the car's got gold. There is the intake. It says the benchmark, which you can't really see because I've got this strap brace going across. Genuine carbon fibre. This is the version 2 from Jeff Steele Racing. That is from Hack Engineering. Thanks, guys. It's a nice little piece. Let's change this bolt really, but yeah. I was always meant to cut this off. I forget why I didn't. I've had the sticker replaced here. I don't know if you can make it out, but if you look, it says August 1st. That was when it was built. And let me see if I can get you in. And it says improved by the benchmark, July 18. And in there, it also says what colour it is. And this is exactly the same as OEM, by the way. Exactly the same. Marrakesh brown in German, which is correct. Metallic. Which it is. So, yeah. It's an amazing car. It really is. These grills are from SSDD. They are the only grills. Don't bother with the eBay crap, okay? I did, and I wasted money. These are quality. Genuine BMW badge. Let's get up close here so you can see the brakes, 6 pistons in all their glory. I think I might have to go handheld, so let's do that. We are now handheld. All right. Okay, so there we go. There they are, and they are amazing. They have made such a huge difference to the car. You hear a lot of negative reports on these for track racing, and it's just a simple case of using the right pads. People don't use the right pads, but for the road, perfect. They don't make any noise, and they stop ferociously. They really do. They are bloody good brakes, and they're not over assisted like there's a mark there, but I never scuffed it. Oh, it's coming off. Okay. They are ferocious, but not too much. They're not over assisted like most modern cars. You know, they're very progressive. OEM bolts, including a security nut. Rear calipers are fine. The pads are fine as well. Those discs are CSL as well. Oh, these grills. Don't know if you like them. They're black, and I like this badge. I don't know why I got that, but I did. I like it. You know, it's got the German colours. It kind of goes with it, of the brown. But that can you can peel it off and put the original. Again, SSDD, they do a bit of fluff there. They do the best, aftermarket quality stuff. Everything else is junk. And I know because I've spent money on it and thrown it away. Let's see if we can focus on this. We've got the LED lights. They all work. We have the Hayward and Scott exhaust, which just sounds amazing. I'm going to start up and let you hear it because it sounds different now because I put the cats back in, and it's all the better for it, to be honest. It was a bit too much. But look at this. Can you see that? There's a bit too much light, but that's the roll cage. It's a serious bit of kit. I mean, when he installed it, Sean, yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? He did such an amazing job. It's so professional. So professional. And the colour, just about, as you can see, it almost, is ever so slightly, I mean, it depends on the lighting, but they almost match. They almost match. You can see it through here. Isn't that cool? It took a long time to find a paint code, and that was the closest paint code. I mean, even Recaro themselves, they gave me the colour code for it, but it was a weird one for a completely different paint supplier, which we couldn't get. So I had to convert that to the paint supplier we could get, and this was the closest shade. And yeah, it's come out well. It's just like that CG image, which I'm gonna cut in now. It's no different. It's exactly as I intended it to be. Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love this car. I love it to bits. Every time I drive it, I just don't want to consider getting rid of it. The only faults that it's got at the moment, the bumper doesn't quite line up. That's an easy fix. It's just people that just couldn't get a head around. They couldn't do it. Just, I'm not going to call them idiots. They just struggled to get it right. And I don't know if you can see. No, it's pretty much spot on here. I swear there was a tiny, there's a tiny, I don't know if it, there we go. Tiny bobble. And I don't believe that's rust, because all this was metalworked. No Bondo crap. I think it's just bad prep, so it's very easy to fix. And that's what the car detailer told me anyway. I mean, even in here it's been done, but we left that bit black. But yeah, see, brown. What else can I show you? New mirror glass from Mirror John in that lovely blue. You know, lovely interior. I mean, it's just a great car. It's just a great car. Okay, so I'm going to try something here. I'm using a bloody wireless mic. So I'm going to take it off and I am going to place it. Hang on a minute. You're going to hear some funny noises. And let's have some fun, shall we? I might upset some dog walkers, but you know. So the question is, what do I do? I mean, do I put it in storage? Because everywhere I look, it's £150 plus VAT a month to put it in a decent car storage place in Suffolk, which is where I'm moving to, by the way, Suffolk, near Bury St Edmunds, I think it is. Or do I sell it? Do I give it to someone, which just feels like a kick in the balls, because really, I mean, when you spend loads of money on a car, you're never going to get it back, right? I know that wholeheartedly, which is why I put so much into this, because I never planned to get rid of it. But I never planned for what happened in my personal life to happen. You never know what's going to happen, right? You can never prepare. I mean, I'm one of those guys that always thinks about tomorrow, but this, this pulled the rug from underneath me. It really did. And so I'm highly stressed and, very emotional and upset. So, yeah, the question is to you guys, what do I do? Do I sell it? If I do sell it, I guess it's worth like what, 20,000? I think that's fair. It wants for nothing. I mean, everything on it's been done. Or is there anyone out there, I don't know, that owns a dealership that can maybe hold it for me for a couple of months? Because I'm going to buy a place, and the place will have a garage. And if that's the case, I'll be able to keep her, and I want to keep her forever. I really do. So if any of you out there, kind people, have any suggestions what I can do to be able to store her and keep her at a reasonable rate, if you own a dealership, and maybe you could put it on inside, because it's a gorgeous car. It is absolutely stunning. I keep saying sorry, just head's in a funny place right now. Yeah, I mean, if you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comments, or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, and I'd really appreciate it. Apologies to people that have been messaging me recently, and I went dark for a bit. As I say, having hard times at the moment. So I sometimes kind of go dark and go off the internet because I just get kind of annoyed with it. It's all about showing off all the time, isn't it? I mean, even I'm guilty of that. We all show off, and I don't know, it kind of grates me a little bit. There's a couple of guys out there that are just awful, and I just stay away from the internet sometimes, try and cheer myself up. But this has been a passion of love of mine. It is not the fastest car in the world, but it's one of the best driving cars in the world. I can honestly tell you that. And everything I've done has just made it better. There's nothing handles like it, nothing steers like it. I feel one-to-one with this machine. It's like we're one thing. That's what it feels like. And you don't get that in a modern car at all. I know that. Owned an S3. It was like driving a Gran Turismo car. Okay, no matter what I did to that, it was digital. RS3, same. In fact, they don't even sell those anymore because they can't pass emissions, but that's another story. TTRS, same problem. All VAG products, no way. They're just numb. There's no feeling. And that's all modern cars now. They can't help it, and it's all the regulations and stuff. I understand, emissions and pedestrian safety and crash safety. They have to work around that. But this car was the one before all that kicked in. This is the last of its kind, big, naturally aspirated, high revving engine, beautiful looks. After that, it all just kind of went electric, literally went electric. And it's just devoid of feel. I've been in a new M3, and a good car, but again, there's just no connection there. It does an impression of this, by the way, but you can tell that the engineers of that car benchmarked it against an E46 M3, and they tried but failed. And that's the competition version. And that's why I've gone for the M2, because the M2 did impress me quite a bit. It was a little bit wobbly on corners, like it needed stronger anti-roll bars. I found that a bit odd, but the dual clutch was fantastic. The engine was a letdown, but then the competition one has got the new M3 engine, and that thing's a monster. And I know for a fact that they very easily go from 400-ish horsepower to 500-ish horsepower. Not that I would do that, of course, because I like to keep my car standard, as you know. So I'm hoping that that's a bit tighter, a bit tauter, because that was the closest thing to this. And so, you know, if this goes, I mean, I'm going to be really sad. I'm sad anyway, but I'll probably cry over it, to be honest with you. That's how connected I am to this car. So, yeah, it's not for financial reasons, nothing like that. I can afford it. That's not the problem. It's just that I can't physically keep it. That is the problem at the moment. So, guys, please open up suggestions, or if you are, you know, want to buy it for, you know, 20k, and you are, you know, generally a passionate guy that loves cars and loves this, then hit me up. I mean, I don't want it just to go to someone that's going to break it or flip it. I want, if I sell it, I want it to go to someone that uses it, takes it to the ring, goes to Brands Hatch, does videos on YouTube, you know? That's what I want. If this goes, I want it to go to someone who's as passionate as I am about pure driving. Because this is as pure as it gets while being also modern. It was the crossover, right? So you get all the comforts of the climate control and airbags and cruise control, which is actually quite good, and comfort. It's very comfortable. Even on bumpy roads, it's comfortable because I've got Bilstein dampers and Ibark springs, and they're all brand new. I mean, everything is brand new. Everything. There's barely anything on this car that hasn't been replaced. I mean, even this trim that you can't even see. This is from a Club Sport. It's not, which is really hard to get. That's not painted. And that's actually genuine gold plating on the badge. It's a bit tacky. Kind of regret doing it in a way. I might put an original one on, I don't know. But it is an original badge, it's just been gold plated. Anyway, I'm rambling. So yes, guys, let's just close this off. Any suggestions at all, I'm all ears, you know. If you're a serious buyer, then I'll consider it. But really, I need storage options. So Bury St Edmunds, that's the area I'm going to be in. I'm looking at maybe 6 months to store it. Hit me up, let me know. Yeah, so there we go. Signing off. Thanks for watching. I still need to do Sean Gosling Racing video. But I just don't have the time. I mean, I don't have time. I shouldn't really be here. I should be back home packing. But I can't edit. I don't know how I'm going to fit this in, to be honest with you. But this is just going to be clumped together very quickly. Sean Gosling Racing, it was a big job. So that's going to take a long time. So it'll have to be after the move, which is going to be November time. So Sean, apologies. I had every intention of having that to go up now. But I just don't have the time, but it will happen. Yeah, so, you know, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, etc. I appreciate it. Comment negative ones, comment positive ones. I like to respond to them all. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm still wearing these. It's not so sunny now. Yeah. Oh, looks pretty when I take my glasses off. Yeah, so, okay, thanks for watching, and, yeah, sad times, but maybe one of you can be my saviour. Alright, take care.